as a decision support system. That distinction is doing a great deal of work. The integration of artificial intelligence into military operations is organized around 5 core functions. First, target identification. AI systems scan satellite imagery, drone feeds, and sensor data in real time, detecting changes, new construction, unusual vehicle movement, activity at sensitive sites, faster than any human analyst team. Maven Smart System, the flagship program developed with Palantir, processes this information and produces ranked strike recommendations in seconds. Military planners that once required weeks to build a targeting package now receive one in minutes. Second, scenario simulation. AI runs millions of what-if calculations simultaneously. What happens if we strike here? How does the adversary respond from this position? What are the probable second and third order consequences? The speed of this analysis gives commanders an advantage that did not exist a generation ago. Third, intelligence fusion. Signals, sensors, human reports, commercial satellite data, social media. AI combines all of it into a single operational picture that updates in real time. Fourth, logistics and strategy. AI optimizes supply routes, predicts maintenance failures before they happen, and models adversary movements before they occur. Fifth, cyber defense and information warfare. AI monitors networks for intrusion, analyzes open-source intelligence, and, on the offensive side, generates and distributes information at a scale and speed no human team can match. But here is what changes everything. The moment AI goes from supporting a decision to accelerating it past the point where human review is meaningful, the human in the loop becomes a formality. The evidence is already visible. In Gaza, AI-generated targeting recommendations informed Israeli strikes that killed large numbers of civilians, in part because analysts were under pressure to approve recommendations quickly. In Ukraine, American-supplied autonomous drone systems proved prone to errors, difficult to repair, and easily defeated by basic electronic jamming. Yet the pressure to deploy them faster, not slower, has only increased. The Pentagon's own testing office, the organization responsible for evaluating whether these systems work as advertised, had its staff cut by half in 2025. The office that studies civilian harm risks was shut down entirely, precisely because the doctrine driving all of this has a name. The Pentagon calls it AI first, and what happens next makes the technology look like the quiet before the storm. July 2025. The Pentagon announces contracts with 4 AI companies simultaneously: Anthropic, OpenAI, xAI, and Google. The requirement is identical for all of them. Agree to allow the Department of Defense to use your technology for any legal purpose. One company refuses. Anthropic draws 2 explicit red lines: no mass surveillance of American citizens, and no autonomous weapons operating without human oversight. The Pentagon responds by designating Anthropic a supply chain risk, effectively banning it from defense contracting. Anthropic sues, arguing the designation violates due process and the First Amendment. The case is pending. Hours after Anthropic is removed, OpenAI moves in. Sam Altman signs a contract with the Department of War. The backlash is immediate. Users uninstall ChatGPT at a rate 295% higher than any previous single day. Claude, Anthropic's model, becomes the #1 AI application in multiple countries overnight. Altman enters damage control, modifying the agreement to include explicit prohibitions on domestic mass surveillance and unmonitored AI access to autonomous weapons. But the contract stands. The detail most people miss: Anthropic's model Claude continued to be used in military operations against Iran even after the ban, because removing an AI system that has become embedded in military workflows is not a switch you can flip. The numbers behind this story are not abstract. Since 2016, the Pentagon has allocated at least $75 billion to AI-focused programs. That number does not include classified programs. It does not include programs where AI use is ambiguous. The real total is almost certainly higher. Two companies dominate this landscape: Palantir Technologies, the data analytics giant, and Anduril Industries, the autonomous systems manufacturer. In 2025, Palantir recorded defense revenues of $903 million. Anduril recorded $912 million. Both were the highest figures either company had ever posted. Palantir holds the primary contract for Maven Smart System, the targeting AI used in Iran, Iraq, Syria, Ukraine, and Yemen. In 2024, it received a $480 million contract for Maven. In 2025, that program added another $795 million in licenses. Anduril specializes in autonomous drones, surveillance towers, and counter-drone systems. Its AI navigates hostile environments, communicates between units, and can engage targets with minimal human involvement. In June 2025, the U.S. Army swore in 4 Silicon Valley executives as reserve lieutenant colonels, including senior figures from Palantir and OpenAI, creating what it called the Innovation Executive Corps. The same people signing the contracts are now advising on the doctrine that governs those contracts. That decision cost whatever remained of the boundary between the technology industry and the war machine. A study from King's College London tests the world's leading AI models in simulated conflict scenarios. In 95% of cases, the models escalate toward nuclear signaling. Under time pressure, one model crosses the highest nuclear threshold in multiple scenarios. These are not weapons. They are the same models used in offices, schools, and hospitals around the world. The future of AI in warfare is not a single catastrophic event. It is a gradual crossing of thresholds, each one normalized before the next is reached. Autonomous drone swarms, AI-coordinated groups of hundreds or thousands of unmanned vehicles can overwhelm a defensive force's material capacity, command structure, and civilian governance in hours, not days. In June 2024, China's People's Liberation Army conducted swarm drone exercises explicitly modeled on a Taiwan invasion scenario. A $2,000 drone destroyed a $2 million missile in the Red Sea. A $400 drone destroyed a $2 million tank in Ukraine. The economics of autonomous warfare have already inverted. The side with the most expensive equipment is no longer automatically the side with the advantage. China's AI industry was valued at $23 billion in 2021 and is projected to exceed more than $75 billion by 2026. Beijing's civil-military fusion strategy means every Chinese technology company is, by law, potentially militarizable. Russia operates with less technological sophistication but greater tactical pragmatism: electronic warfare, rapid drone adaptation, real combat iteration. 3 models. One objective: to win the war of the future before it begins. And precisely because the race has no agreed finish line, it has no agreed rules either. The risks are not theoretical, they are operational, they are present, and they are accelerating faster than the institutions designed to govern them. The Pentagon's AI-first doctrine commits the most powerful military in history to a strategy in which artificial intelligence leads every decision. The fiscal year 2026 defense budget is $1 trillion, a 13% expansion over the previous year. $13.4 billion of that is allocated specifically to autonomous systems. $9 billion more goes to custom data centers and computing infrastructure. The companies receiving these contracts are simultaneously shaping the policies that govern them. The testing infrastructure designed to catch failures before deployment has been cut. The offices designed to measure civilian harm have been closed. The congressional oversight that should be asking these questions has not passed a single piece of legislation specifically governing military AI. Geoffrey Hinton, the man who built the foundations of modern AI, now estimates a 20% probability that humanity builds something it cannot control, and that it ends badly. He does not ask for panic. He asks for institutions and rules before ingenuity overtakes the engineer. But here is what we know for certain. The threshold has already been crossed. The machine is already in the loop. The question is no longer whether AI will decide who lives and who dies. The question is, who decides what the machine is allowed to decide? Who controls the machine that controls the war? It already happened. The algorithm already chose. The drone already flew. The threshold is already behind us. If this analysis gave you something you didn't have before, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell. Now check the next video.